How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Zulu. Today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect Scotch egg. If you don't know what Scotch egg is, wow, you're in for a treat. It's amazing. It's a traditional British dish which classically involves a hard-boiled egg coated in a sausage meat or any meat in that matter, but make sure it's minced. Then you breadcrumb it and deep fry it. For the hard-boiled egg, I'm not a fan of it personally. I much prefer a soft-boiled egg. So then when you cut into it, you got a little surprise in the center. The yolk just oozes out, which looks better, and trust me, it's going to taste great as well. To make sure that the yolk is still runny is a lot trickier to master. But I've got a few tricks up my sleeve that's going to make it like a whole lot easier. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So ladies and gentlemen, for this recipe you will need 4 medium-sized eggs. As if you couldn't already tell, it makes 4 Scotch eggs. And we're going to start by cooking the eggs, and I'm going to show you how to cook them perfectly. So at the end of all this, you're going to achieve a beautifully runny yolk in the center. So first, fill a pan up 3/4 full with hot water. That just speeds up the whole process. And place it on the gas, heat it up until it comes to the boil. And now carefully lower your eggs into the boiling water, one at a time. And cook the eggs for 4 minutes, 30 seconds exactly, no more. No less. Any more, it'll be over and it'll be a hard-boiled egg. Any less, all I can say is good luck peeling those fellas, as the egg will be just too delicate to peel, so you need to get right at that sweet spot, and 4 minutes 30 seconds is just that. And then immediately you're going to carefully lower your eggs into ice cold water, and you're going to allow these to cool down for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. And then carefully peel those fellas under cold running water. You may ask, does it need to be under running water? The answer is yes. Yes it does if you want an easy life, because it makes it easier to remove the shell without tearing any of the white. Which for an egg, which is so soft and delicate, you're gonna need all the help you can get. So once those earths are peeled, let's sort out the pork sausage coating, which will eventually coat those beautiful soft-boiled eggs. You're gonna start with 400 grams of pork sausage meat, which you can buy in any large supermarket, or you can just buy it from your local butcher. And to that, you can add in 5 grams of table salt, and a few twists of freshly ground black pepper. And that's then followed by a fine grating of fresh nutmeg, around 1/4 teaspoon worth, a fine pinch of ground clove, 7 grams of fresh parsley which is being finely chopped so it's ultra fine, and last but not least, 3 grams of fresh sage leaves which has also been very finely chopped. Mix all that together until combined, then start kneading your meat. Yes, exactly the same as dough, and do this for a few minutes until you get a nice tacky, meaty mixture. And before you go any further, take a little bit of the meat, cook it off in a frying pan just to check if you need to adjust the seasoning or not. And now divide your meat into 4 equal sized balls, and as per usual, if you want them super even, weigh all the meat in grams, then divide that by 4, then use that amount in grams per ball. You see what I'm saying? Efficiency. And then just set your meatballs to one side. And now for wrapping your eggs in those meaty balls, it will look something like this. First, cut yourself a nice sheet of cling film, place your meaty ball in the center, and press it out into a circle that's about 2.5 times the size of the egg. Whilst doing this, I would really recommend you wet your hands, because it stops the meat from sticking to your hands as much. Now take one of your eggs, gently toss it in some plain all-purpose flour, just off the excess, then place it into the center of your meat disc, then using the plaster wrap, gather up the sides to cover the entire egg. And now at this stage, I like to remove the egg from the cling film and seal the rest by hand. And like I said before, make sure you wet your hands when you're doing this. It helps you out big time. It stops the meat from sticking to your hands. Which if that happens, you're in big trouble. And the most important thing when doing this is to make sure the egg is completely encased in the meat. No holes in your balls. If there are any holes in your balls, 1, you will ruin your egg, and 2, it won't look the greatest. But anyways, you're just going to repeat that for the rest of your eggs. Now, the breading station. You will need 3 bowls for this. In the first, you will need 150 grams of all-purpose flour with a fine pinch of salt added to it to season it. In the second, you're going to whisk together 1 egg, cracked obviously, with a splash of water. And third and finally, you will need 100 grams of panko breadcrumbs. And here is how you use this station. It is really simple. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn, you never forget. Well, at least you shouldn't forget. First, you want to toss one of your balls carefully in the flour. Make sure it coats the whole thing completely. No flour spots. Then gently shake off the excess, and then toss to coat completely in the egg wash. And finally into the panko breadcrumbs to coat completely. But hang on 1 second, hold your horses. You're gonna go once more into the egg then back into the breadcrumbs to give it a double coating of panko. And make sure you leave no wet spots on your Scotch eggs. And now, fill a saucepan up with a neutral tasting oil. Make sure you add enough oil to your pan so it's going to completely cover your egg. But please, dear God, don't put too much oil in the pan so it's going to overflow. I don't want to be responsible for any house fires. And you want to heat the oil up until it reaches 175 degrees Celsius on a thermometer. And fry your Scotch eggs for a grand total of 5 to 7 minutes, or until a beautiful golden brown, crispy egg has been drawn out of the oil. Then place on a wire rack to drain to allow the Scotch egg to retain that beautifully crispy crisp, and repeat for the rest of your Scotch eggs. And that is pretty much it. That's how you make homemade Scotch eggs. You can't beat a perfect Scotch egg. Just take a look at that. They've just got a wonderful, unique oval shape to them. It's just magical. So let's get a knife and cut this thing open. From the looks of things, it looks like I literally just got it right. It could have done with a bit less in the fryer, but nevertheless, it's still oozing. And as well as that, we've gained a wonderfully crispy exterior. Just listen to this. I mean, come on. You heard that, right? It doesn't get any better than that. I hope you enjoy the recipe. And that's it, guys. That's how you make homemade Scotch eggs. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, please like and subscribe to the channel for more recipes just like this one. And I'll see you guys next week.